Hello, my name is Pedro Freire and I am the founder of Cynergi. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate our Backoffice application. Backoffice users are of two particular kinds, the webmaster user and everyone else. The webmaster user is different from everyone else because it works like root in Unix or administrator in Windows. It has special account configuration permissions and should not be used for everyday activities, and therefore it cannot be assigned an email address. On this video, I will be describing the special functions of the webmaster user and look into the available functions for the remaining users. Another video will focus on those users' webmail function. This is the login screen for our Backoffice. So I'm going to log on with the user that is the webmaster. I'm so sorry. And here we can see the start screen of our Backoffice. We have the logout function here. We have tabs for several different functions for this Backoffice. Development tab is default because it's what makes it different for this user, for the webmaster user. It allows us to configure our file upload capability for this account. And so it has several links for software that allows us to upload using FTP, such as FileZilla. It has links for alternative software for various operating systems. It has automatic FileZilla configuration, or you can configure the server manually using this information here. It has a profile application. It simply summarizes who you are on the system. It has an analytics function. This is shared with normal users actually. It allows you to see who has accessed the website in all, with a summary here, and day of week, for instance, the graphics for several different statistics, and you can also access the actual data table that is the basis for that graphic. But the most interesting function here is users. Users allows you, this is actually, let me just say, these are default users that we need for this demonstration site and default email addresses. Please ignore these. We will be creating new ones in this demo. The users function allows you to configure people who can access your website and their email addresses. Let's take an example. Let's say that at your company, Owen is the owner or CEO of the company, Ivan is the IT guy, Susan handles sales and support, and Mark handles marketing. These are 4 people at your company, so you would create users for each of them. Let's start creating them. Add new. So we will start with Owen. The user ID will be, for instance, OW. Password, I'm going to select a very simple one. Groups are simply comma-separated names to organize users. If you have a company that has 500 users, listing 500 people here is very cumbersome to use, so you can group them with names and then you can select just those groups to see. For instance, you can see only people in marketing, only people in sales, and so forth. We will not be using groups in this demo, but we will be using mailboxes. This user, Owen, will have a mailbox. And this is starting to tell us that we can add email addresses to the user, but we won't get into that right now. So just save the user, and we have Owen here. Now, we're going to have Susan. I'm sorry, the first one was Ivan. For instance, IV. Password also very simple, and has a mailbox. We also have Susan. Actually, the creation order is not relevant, but I was just following the order that was in the text that you saw earlier. And finally, Mark. For instance, MK, password, and has a mailbox. Okay, we got now 4 users, 4 people, 4 persons, if you prefer, at our company. Let's start creating email addresses for them. Okay. Now, the first thing that you think about creating email addresses is using their own names. Owen would be Owen at something, Ivan would be Ivan at something, and so forth. This is very handy when you're emailing people within your own company. If it's such a small company, you probably just yell, hey, Susan, I need this. But sometimes you need to attach something to you use the email, even though you're 4 of you are in the same room, or if you're on holidays, you can email each other. You know each other by name, it's easier to use the addresses by name. So that's what we're going to do. So we'll select Owen, or let's do it both ways. We can select Owen. And what it says here is that this mailbox stores email messages sent to the selected addresses on your right. So if we were to just click here, see, it's selected. But this is not the address we want. We can click again, it's unselected, but we want to add new. The new address would be Owen at, and you see it has autocomplete. Click on it, create, and we have a new address created for Owen. We'll save this. And if we go back to Owen, you see it's pre-selected. Let's cancel this. Let's look at this from the point of view of the email address. If I click on the email address, it tells me what the address is. I can rename it. Where is it delivered to? It's delivered to the mailboxes of the users selected to your left, so it's Owen. And I can still forward it to third parties. This would mean that every email that reaches this address on your own website will not only be delivered to these users, in this case only Owen, but would also be forwarded to other external email addresses. The email will be duplicated and delivered in every place you specify here. We don't need forwarding for this example now. Let's just cancel this. So we have Owen. Who else? Let's use the rightmost form right now to give you the example on the other way to create these addresses. So we want Ivan at, again, autocomplete. And delivered to whom? Well, to Ivan. I just click on Ivan. Sorry, didn't click. Click on Ivan and save. Here we go. Another one. Let's use Susan. Susan at. I can just enter. Hit enter. That's it. Save. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I forgot. I created Susan, but I didn't specify anyone. So I go back and click on Susan, and now I save. Okay. Again, Mark at. Okay. And delivered to Mark. Save. Okay. And we got our 4 email addresses created. Let's click here. Here we go. From the point of view of the email address, it's delivered to Owen. From the point of view of Ivan, it's delivered to Ivan. From the point of view of Susan, it tells me this form will show a new email address. I say, okay. So it's Susan now. And from the point of view of Mark, okay, it's Mark now. If I go back to Ivan, this is really annoying, but I can shift click. I can hold on shift and click, and he won't give me that warning. As you can see, I can shift between these addresses very quickly. Okay. We've got all these now configured. What else do we need? Well, that was from your own point of view. You know the people, you know their names. But it's also useful to create role addresses. Your customers don't necessarily know your own names. They know they need to contact your company. They know they need support, or they want to buy something, or they want to respond to a marketing campaign or complain by some problem that existed, or have a business proposition. So each of those is a role. For instance, for the owner, you would create something like administration at. The IT would be IT at. Sales and support, each would have its own role, sales at and support at. And marketing would be marketing at. These are roles. So we need to create emails for them. Let's create the email for the administration. So we go here, administration at, enter. And what is delivered to? Well, the person that handles administration is Owen, the owner. Okay, that's it, save. Here we go. Now it's interesting. So if we click on the point of view of the email address administration, it's delivered to one person. If you see from the point of view of Owen address, the Owen address, it's delivered to one person. But if you click on Owen, from the point of view of the person, he has two different email addresses that deliver messages to his mailbox. This is normal. You can configure any combination of users and email addresses as you see fit. And this is why we have this screen with the left side in users and the right side of email addresses. Okay, let's continue. We've got administration. What else we need? IT, sales, support, and so forth. Let's go. So we need IT at delivered to Ivan. Save. We need sales and support. Sales at delivered to Susan. We need support at also delivered to Susan. And we need marketing at delivered to Mark. So, as you might expect, Susan has 3 different email addresses that she receives. Okay. So, we've got our email addresses and our people configured. Everyone at the company has its own user and has 1 or more email addresses depending on their functions and their jobs at the company. This allows greater flexibility. Role email addresses also allow greater flexibility in configuring changes of personnel, people who are on holidays and other people need to handle other roles and so forth. We will see at the webmail how the sender, for instance, a person like Owen or Susan, can select one of their emails as the sender address when replying to messages. We will see that later. Okay. So let's see an example also. For instance, when Susan is going on holidays. For instance, we have this case. Sales will be handled by Owen and support will be handled by both Owen and Ivan. So Susan is on holidays and these addresses will no longer be handled by her, but by other people. Now you have 2 choices. Let's look at this from the point of view of the addresses themselves. Sales. Currently is being delivered to Susan. You simply click on Owen, and Owen also receives emails from sales. If you don't want Susan to have all those emails on her mailbox when she arrives, you deselect by clicking again. Let's try this. Clicking again. Tapping on a trackpad sometimes doesn't work, I'm sorry. You simply click again on Susan, and Susan no longer receives a copy of the emails sent to sales. Save, and that's it. Go back to sales, only Owen receives it. I go to Owen, and he receives messages from Owen, administration, and sales. And how about support? Well, support will be handled by Owen and Ivan. So Susan used to handle support. Now we want support to be handled by Owen and Ivan, but not Susan. Here we go. And save. So while Susan is on holidays, this is what's going to happen. Susan still has her own email address if we need to contact her, and she says that she's available over email during holidays. But the email address that she was handling, the role email address that she was handling, such as sales and support, are now being handled by other people. Sales and support is being handled by other people. So this is how you use the users function of the back office. Only the webmaster can configure users. Other functions, such as reading email, that's the webmail function, are available to these users, and this will be a demo on a different video. Thank you so much for watching.